Alright, welcome. What I want to go over in this video is the release on Steam, which I just released the game like 10 days ago on Steam, and it's going okay. I made a bunch of sales, but I want to talk about, mostly I want to talk about my experience with what I learned, what I could do a lot better, and what I could also do a lot better with the game too. So if you did buy it on Steam, or if you haven't, either way, I'm releasing updates like every week still. So until it's full access, that's the plan. What I'm seeing is there's a bunch of work to be done, which is totally fine. I mean, I've been working on this game for a year, so it's not that big of a deal. And I did notice that, you know, a lot of the feedback from people is that they're saying, oh, the game's not finished, like some other things, you know, feedback. But the people that were saying that were people that they weren't really playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. They were kind of like they would accept the mission and then they'd like run off into the jungle. And they're like, oh, this game is dumb, and I'm like, dude, you guys aren't even, you're not even playing the game. Like you can literally like run through the entire world. It's like loading up Skyrim and just running around, and you're like, oh, this game, what's the point, right? I'm like, well, yeah, but if you do the mission, then there's a point, right? But if you don't, then you're just gonna get lost. Anyway, so I'm gonna go through the features of the game and my experience with Steam. So let's just start with this is the load screen you're seeing here, and there's 4 options right at the beginning. So you can load a game if you have a game saved. I just have a couple options. You can turn the music down or the volume effects, whatever you want to do, and then you can quit. So let's just start right into it. Turn the volume up a little bit. And here's what I also noticed is that I played through the entire game of Ruction, and I think I beat the whole thing in 3 hours, right? So 3 hours of gameplay. That's for me though. But what I noticed is that when people were playing, see, I had people look at it before I released it, but now I'm getting like tons of people playing through it, right? So I'm like watching them, and it's taking them a lot longer, obviously, because I know exactly where to go, which totally makes sense. That's totally great. That's totally fine. But most of the people, if they keep going on the way they're going, there's probably like 20 to 30 hours of gameplay. Like, that's a lot. I think I played through Half-Life 2 in like 40 hours, I think, total, something like that. So there's a ton of gameplay, and most of the game is exploration, quest-based, you know. Anyway, let's turn the sound up, and let me talk about the features of the game. So straight up, first off, let's see the menu here. So you can resume the game. You've got tasks. You can here, let me go pick this one up first.
You'll want to be inside before it gets too dark.
What I did notice about the game is that I really need to work on like depth. Like what am I doing? Why is my guy going around? And it's just going to get better the more I work on it. So, I mean, it makes sense to me because I've looked at it for so long. But to get hundreds of people's feedback, it's different, right? It's just one of the big things that I've checked out. So you start off, the controls here. You got run, walk, shift. You can interact. You can climb up stuff. If you push M, there's a map. I may get rid of the map because, or for now, and then improve it later. But right now it's kind of just the fog of war type of deal where you run around and it keeps track of where you've gone. So I from what I'm hearing is that people don't think that's so great. I don't know. I thought it was cool, but maybe not. Anyway, I may just take it out for a while until I make it better. You can zoom if you need to see stuff far away. You can look around. You can zoom in. Then treasure map. I'll probably take that off because that's a later quest in the game. So the first thing here, let's go back to this, the pause menu. So you come to tasks, right? You can click on this and it'll tell you detailed information. Like if you're having trouble, notice up here, like in the top right, okay? So you can track it. So you can untrack it or track it. You can abandon the quest and then you can pick it up again at the same guy you got it from. So notice in the top right, the mini-map, basically the mini-map, it'll tell you if there's a quest available or a quest ready to be turned in. So you can see there's a question mark, right? And that is the first quest. So if I abandon this, let's see, active. If I abandon it, right, you can abandon it. So it's gone. So it went away.
You'll want to be inside.
Pick it up again. And then you've got the quest back up here, right? You can track it again, whatever. But where you need to go is see, I guess you can't see, I'm like pointing to it, but you can't see where I'm pointing. Up in the top right, up here. That's where you need to go, right? So that's that. You can save your game. You can load a game. You can quit to the menu. And then you can quit out of the game. And you can adjust the effects here also. So let's resume, and that's just kind of the basic setup for the UI. And I'm using a template called Game Jam that Unity just gives out for free, and it's like all set up. So I was like, well, why not? And then I just customized it to exactly what I want to do. And you can add as many things as you want with this thing. And keep in mind, it does not look like this when you get it. Like it's super, basically kind of lame. But the setup is basically like any game, really. You just have the functions. And I was noticing, like, you know, people were coming out here, they're running through here, and, you know, it's like, oh, let's just go straight. But people were like, hey, let's run into the jungle, right? And, you know, they're going all over the place. But I was like, dude, what are you guys doing? So there's like a ton of trolls, right? Which, you know, they can go wherever they want. It really doesn't matter. That's the point of open world, right? Run through the jungle. But I may put colliders, like, on the jungle area because, I don't know, it's just, people, they like to troll, you know? They'll just, like, going through here. They're like, hey, let's see how I can go jump up this cliff or whatever. Anyway, whoa, shoot. So that's actually one of the things I need to fix. Is that sometimes when you're up on a top ledge, you can slide down. And I think I can fix that pretty easily. I just have to do it. Anyway, well, at least the health bar works, right? So you can see, you can barely see. I just fixed this a couple days ago. You can see up in the top right, in the mini-map, the little question mark up there. And that is where you need to go. For some reason, some people were confused about where you're supposed to be going. I don't know. Maybe I need to fix it or something. But then I saw a lot of people, they knew exactly where to go because they followed the directions. Like they read the dialogue. So I think people, if they just weren't trolling, then they played the game perfectly. Anyway. See, what you don't know is that there's an area up there. Yeah. It's kind of hidden. You gotta find it. It'll let you play the game for reals, and you can see what's actually up there. You can see the fog. It's pretty sweet. Barely moving. Anyway. So the features of the game, basically you got this menu, right? You can push escape. For the longest time, I had a serious problem with pushing escape, and I wanted the cursor to show. and then you push escape and it goes away, right? For the time being, though, I'm gonna show you guys something. I'm gonna show you some of the game map because some people were running. They didn't want to do the missions. They didn't want to do the tasks, so they were just like running all around. And let me just kind of show you some of the stuff over on the side of the game map. It's pretty big. Like you can run and 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 run, like run for a while. But I don't think I've ever showed you guys kind of what a lot of this looks like. I mean, I showed you some of this if you've been watching like every video, which you probably haven't. But if you, okay, spoiler alert. There's a huge. I put like a treetop area. You have to go climb up some stuff to find this area, and then you climb up again, go up these ladders. You don't even have to play the game maybe half an hour or 45 minutes, and then you'll be on that mission, or that task. So you come through here, and look, there's even fish in there. It's cool, right? The little fish. Anyway. There's birds. Pretty dang awesome. I just want to show you this because some people trolled me so hard. They, you know, you try to find the glitches, whatever. You know, it's totally fine. It's actually more fun that way. Like, I've done the same thing. Like, you try to find all the things, right? Okay, so I added a few things since the release. So here, there's these spikes, right? You can't get over there. And this is where someone trolled me so hard. See, you push F to climb, right? So you just push F, and I set it far away, so even if you're far away, you'll like slide to it. Which, it's not like realistic, but if someone has trouble and the animation's like whatever, you know. But I mean, someone trolled me so hard. They're like, "Oh, why can't you climb up this thing?" I'm like, "Dude, just push F. Push F to climb, right?" You know, they're like jumping on here. Anyway, but this is something I went through, is that people, they kind of like totally like to troll your game, because it's totally not broken. I mean, I set it so far away that I just pushed it 3 times, and it worked 100% of the time, so I don't know what the deal is. But I added some things that might be a little more challenging. I'm pretty sure I thought I added a climb. Oh yeah, there we go, there we go, there we go. So this one might be a little harder. But you can climb up some of this stuff, and I haven't worked at all on the climbing animation, which I think I'm going to now because I'm adding more of these things. But you can climb up these random things like this, right? And see this, I'm pushing F, and it's a little bit harder because I just added this in. But if someone wanted to have some fun and just play and just climb random stuff in the game, like climb these trees, climb these whatever, I might put some things like this in future updates where you can climb up stuff like this. And I previously did, which is why I want to kind of add it back. The only problem is that I was climbing up stuff, and then there was just like a whole slew of problems because like glitches, like finicky. It was like really finicky. So I took it all out. Like you could climb up basically everything, like rocks and things, but then I took it out because it was just, I didn't have time to fix all the little glitches in it. Anyway, so like this, I want people to be able to climb up stuff like this, and so I just started adding these things. I mean, see, look at this right here. Oh, is this breakable? Can you break this? Yeah, look at that. Sweet. Anyway. And I had one guy that, he had some trouble with treasures for some reason. He's like, "Hey, why can't I pick up a treasure?" But like I'm standing right in front of it, and oh, okay, that's because I fixed it. Before you had to like look down and grab it, but he was like standing like this. He clicking it. I'm like, dude, just look down, man. Just point the mouse at the ground and click. Anyway, so this is just like some things, but I fixed them. So you kind of have to make the game you have to like hold their hand. You know what I mean? And I really am realizing that more and more and more is that if you don't like hold the player's hand, like you tell them, like you make it easy for people to do stuff. Because I mean, I feel like I've played a bunch of games and you can figure it out, but not everyone probably has played as many games as other people, so you have to make it for everyone. Which I thought about that before, but I'm realizing that way more now. Is that some people they just can't figure it out. They just can't do it. Uh, because they're like standing here clicking interact, but all they have to do is do this. But I don't know. It's just harder for some people to figure it out. Me, I guess most of you guys watching this channel, you're like, oh, yeah, of course, but you just look down. Like you're trying to grab this fish. You're like, how come I can grab the fish? Anyway, you get the point. Some people didn't see this area over here. Like there's like little paths and things. If any of you have played like Half-Life 2, that was like probably one of the most fun games I've played, because you have to think about where to go. You've got to strategize. And some of those levels that I was in, you seriously, I'm like sitting there for 30 minutes, 45 minutes trying to get out of this one area, and you're just stuck and you hate the game, you hate your gaming life. But then you figure it out and you're like, oh, yes, right? You figure it out and you get through and you feel successful, right? And then you save the game. Boom. So there's a treasure right there. Anyway, but I've learned a ton of stuff from a lot of different types of feedback. So people that don't game very much, people that think they game a lot, but they're a different type of gamer. It's like the recreational gamer versus the intense gamer versus like the thinking gamer. And maybe I should make that more clear when people are buying the game, is that it's not like okay, for example, Tomb Raider. If you've ever played that, like the newest one they came out with, you've got this path. You go like this through the game, and it's not an open world style, so you're guided through, and it's really fun and really cool. Or you got like Fallout, right? Fallout, like you can literally like go all over, which is kind of like this, or like Skyrim, where you can go all over too. You really have to follow the missions, and you can get lost. Like I've been lost in Skyrim. You try to figure out where to go. It's a lot harder. So I think this genre of open world, what I'm realizing, is a lot more difficult to relate to the gamer, the direction of the game. Which is why most people don't do this style open world, because it's a lot harder to, I think what I'm learning is gather a general consensus of gamers. Like, I was saying a second ago, like you've got the recreational gamer, the intense gamer, the gamer that's used to open world. You got like World of Warcraft, like World of Warcraft, for example, you can literally just like you can go all over. You don't have to play the game, you can just explore. And you can do this in this game too. So World of Warcraft's a totally open world game. And then when you think, oh, I want to do the quests or the missions and things, then you start doing it, and then you go around. And I'm learning that the open world genre is quite a bit different from, I think, what people expect and are used to at the same time. And I don't know what people expect, but it's an open world. Like literally, you can go anywhere. So that's why I'm saying there's like a lot of people trolling, because they're saying, oh, how come you can't go here? How come you can't go here? I'm like, well, you can, but you're not even playing the game. Like you're just exploring now. Anyway, so that's kind of my experience so far, like with releasing the game on Steam, or just in general, releasing the game at all. And there's a bunch of things that I'm fixing, so I'm releasing updates every week, and it's actually pretty cool, pretty exciting. It's challenging to receive the feedback. A lot of people, they're really critical, but I've been doing the game stuff for a while, so you can expect that. but what people don't understand, like, is that, like, building a game, like, it's hard. Like, there's nothing easy about it. Like, there's nothing easy about it. There's nothing easy. Um, there's nothing easy about it. Like, I don't care if you spend $1,000 and just purchased everything and then put it all together. Even, I mean, I got a bunch of stuff. I bought a bunch of this stuff, like this bridge, some of these trees, and I made a bunch of stuff too. You know, I mean, I made some bridges and things. But that's the easiest part, like getting the stuff. The hardest part is creating a design for the game, like a storyline, a background, you know, putting it all together, getting everything to work perfectly, you know, and it's a huge deal. It's a huge experience for one solo game developer. Whoa, what the crap? What was that? Oh, I think it's because I went, yep, there it is, yeah. It's because why is it doing that? Oh, you know, it's doing that because the camera is too far back, and yeah, okay, well, I can fix that. Anyway, so for one person to create all this, it you know, you guys can do it. If you wanted to build the game, you can build the game. Anyway, so that's kind of all I got for now. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about, is that the experience of, oh, here's something else I noticed, and from, if you're going to release a game on Steam or whatever, or anywhere, I don't know how much of this is I'm supposed to say, because there's like a Steam agreement. I'll just say this. I was surprised that how many sales were in the United States compared to like Europe, compared to Asia, and I just released the game in English. So I was just, I'll look up the information and see how much I can share, but I was surprised how much was sold in Asia, how much is sold in Australia, how much was sold in the United States in comparison to each other. So I was actually really surprised. So if I can share that stuff, I'll let you know. I'm not really sure. I haven't read through it all, so I just won't say anything. But like I said, I made a bunch of sales. But I will say, I mean, I've got tons of people. They wish listed it. So I think most of those people on the wish list, because you can, if you go on Steam, you can wish list the game, and basically it's like you subscribe to the game. You like follow it like a YouTube channel kind of. And then if there's a sale, you'll get a notification to your email so that it's on sale, so you should go and check it out again. So I got a ton of wish list people. I got people purchasing it. And I did notice that, so I think these people that are wishlisting it, they're waiting to see the reviews, they're waiting to see updates. If there's updates, they're waiting to see if there's a sale. Personally, if I wishlist a game, it means I want it, but I'm going to wait for a sale. And if it's early access, I also want to see the other stuff I just talked about. So, there you go. Anyway, I'm not sure how long I've been talking, but anyway, so that's kind of my first experience with releasing a game on Steam. And honestly, this is not only my first game on Steam, this is my first game ever. Like, I literally have never built a game ever before. I just started using Unity, what's the date today? The 10th? Less than a year ago. I just downloaded Unity and built this whole thing. And I appreciate people's support, and I appreciate the feedback. Like, literally, if you want to, you know, criticize it, like, you know, it's great. Like, let me know. I want to fix some stuff. I want to fix it. I don't want to make this game like a piece of junk, right? And like I said at the beginning, if you play the game how it's supposed to, you know, everything works. But I do agree, like, there needs to be more depth. Like, why are people standing around? Like, and I think what I'm going to do is release a cinematic when you load the game up, and it gives, like, a background. And I guess the reason I haven't done that is because I figured people would watch it before they played the game, which is why they bought it in the first place. but I'm seeing that they didn't, because they're asking all these questions. So I think I'm going to include that in the game, because I know like World of Warcraft or even like Half-Life or Fallout 4, all these games, right? Skyrim. There's like a cinematic that shows the background, like immersion. So I guess what I'm saying is you can learn from this too, is that people expect an immersive experience, and I feel like I knew that, but I could do a lot better, is what I'm saying. Like a lot better. And I have cinematic, like the best I could do so far is like a cinematic describing the background of the game. So, and I think that would help, because when you first play the game, you get like dropped off in a helicopter and you're just standing there, kind of like, what the heck am I doing here, right? Maybe it doesn't make sense. It does. Maybe I need to work on it, right? And I agree. It needs to be better. It has to be better, because people are like, what am I doing here? I mean, and you can figure it out. Like if you're a different kind of gamer, if you're like, I guess you've played more these style of game, more this like World of Warcraft, Skyrim's type. But if you don't have much experience with that, then you may be a little more lost. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Oh, there's a treasure down there. I act like I didn't know that. I know where everything is, so. Anyway, alright, well, that's what I got for now. That's kind of my opening experience. But like I said, I did the game in like 3 hours. But some people, they couldn't even figure out what they were doing in the first 20 minutes. So, oh, this part's pretty sweet. Anyway, alright, well, subscribe if you like it. I'm going to release updates every week. I'm going to try to release a lot more videos. And then in the future, I think every week I'm going to go over 1 or 2 of the assets I'm using. Like, I just installed this asset called Volumetric Ambient Occlusion, which is sweet. I'm going to go over that next time. And I'm going to explain what that is. It's basically like shadows in between cracks and rocks. Dude, it makes it look way cooler. Once I show you the before and after shots of things, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's my opening. It's just kind of like my opening, I guess, statement to releasing a game on Steam. And I think I'll talk a lot more about it. But that's all I got for now. All right, thanks, you guys. See ya.